Your brain didn't evolve for TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or Instagram Reels. It evolved for survival. And yet, somehow, these tiny videos hijack your attention so powerfully that minutes turn into hours without you even noticing. To understand why your brain loves short videos so much, we need to talk about dopamine, prediction, novelty, and how modern technology taps directly into ancient neural wiring. Dopamine is often misunderstood as the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite accurate. Dopamine is actually the brain's motivation and reward prediction chemical. It's released not just when you feel pleasure, but when your brain anticipates something rewarding. In other words, dopamine spikes when your brain thinks, "This might be interesting. Pay attention." Short videos are engineered to trigger that exact response again and again. Every time you scroll, your brain enters a state of anticipation. You don't know what the next video will be. It could be boring. It could be hilarious. It could teach you something shocking. That uncertainty is crucial. Neuroscience shows that dopamine is released most strongly not when rewards are guaranteed, but when they are unpredictable. This is the same mechanism behind slot machines. You pull the lever not because you always win, but because you might win. Short video feeds work the same way. Each swipe is a lever pull, and your brain releases dopamine in preparation for a possible reward. The videos themselves are short for a reason. Long content requires sustained attention, which costs mental energy. Short videos, on the other hand, offer instant payoff. They deliver a joke, a surprise, a fact, or a dramatic moment in seconds. Your brain loves efficiency. When it realizes it can get stimulation quickly with minimal effort, it starts preferring that pathway. Over time, this trains your brain to expect fast rewards and low effort. Another reason short videos are so addictive is novelty. The human brain is wired to notice new information because, in evolutionary terms, novelty could mean opportunity or danger. New food sources, new environments, new threats. Short video platforms bombard your brain with constant novelty. New faces, new voices, new ideas, new emotions, sometimes every 10 seconds. Each new stimulus triggers a small dopamine release. Individually, these hits seem insignificant, but stacked together for minutes or hours, they create a powerful loop that keeps you scrolling. There's also the emotional intensity factor. Short videos often compress emotional moments into their most impactful form. There's no slow build-up. You get the punchline, the shock, the cuteness, or the outrage almost instantly. Emotion and dopamine are closely linked. Strong emotions, whether positive or negative, increase dopamine activity and memory formation. That's why you might not remember what you watched an hour ago, but you remember how it made you feel. Short videos exploit this by maximizing emotional spikes in minimal time. Your brain also loves patterns, and short videos train a very specific one: quick context, fast payoff, immediate closure. You don't need to invest. You don't need to think deeply. The story ends almost as soon as it begins. This constant cycle conditions your brain to crave rapid completion. Over time, this can make longer tasks, like reading a book, studying, or even watching a full movie, feel unusually hard or boring. It's not that your intelligence has decreased, it's that your dopamine system has been recalibrated toward faster rewards. Another key insight is that dopamine doesn't just reinforce pleasure, it reinforces behavior. Every time you open an app and scroll, and your brain gets a dopamine hit, it strengthens the neural pathway associated with that action. This is called reinforcement learning. The brain learns, when I'm bored, stressed, or tired, scrolling gives relief. Eventually, this becomes automatic. You might find yourself opening an app without consciously deciding to, almost like muscle memory. That's your dopamine system acting faster than your rational mind. Short videos also reduce cognitive friction. There's no decision fatigue. You don't have to choose what to watch. Algorithms do that for you based on what keeps your dopamine system engaged the longest. When choice is removed, your brain relaxes. This makes the experience feel effortless and soothing, even if the content itself is stimulating. Your brain loves anything that saves energy while delivering reward. There's an important distinction between wanting and liking. Dopamine drives wanting, not liking. You may not even enjoy the videos that much, but your brain still wants to keep scrolling. That's why you might close the app feeling strangely unsatisfied, yet still reopen it minutes later. The dopamine loop was activated, but the deeper sense of fulfillment was never addressed. Short videos excel at triggering desire without delivering lasting satisfaction. Over time, heavy consumption of short videos can raise your baseline dopamine expectation. Normal activities that once felt rewarding, like talking to friends, walking outside, or working on a personal goal, may start to feel dull by comparison. This doesn't mean those activities are less meaningful. It means your brain has adapted to a higher level of stimulation. This is similar to how tolerance works. The more intense and frequent the dopamine spikes, the less sensitive the system becomes to subtle rewards. Stress also plays a role. When you're stressed, anxious, or mentally exhausted, your brain craves easy dopamine. Short videos provide that instantly. They act like mental junk food, not harmful in small amounts, but problematic when they become the primary source of reward. The brain begins to associate relief with scrolling, making it harder to sit with boredom or discomfort, which are actually essential states for creativity, learning, and emotional regulation. There's also the illusion of productivity. Many short videos are educational or motivational, which gives your brain the feeling that you're learning or improving. Dopamine reinforces that feeling, even if the information is shallow or quickly forgotten. This creates a loop where your brain feels busy and stimulated, but your deeper cognitive systems aren't fully engaged. It feels good, but it doesn't always translate into real-world growth. Interestingly, your brain is not broken. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. It's responding to an environment filled with rapid rewards, novelty, and emotional stimuli. The problem isn't dopamine itself. Dopamine is essential for motivation, learning, and survival. The issue is that short video platforms concentrate dopamine triggers in an unnaturally dense form, far beyond what the brain evolved to handle. The good news is that awareness changes everything. When you understand that your urge to keep scrolling is a neurochemical loop, not a personal weakness, you gain power over it. You can start retraining your dopamine system by reintroducing slower rewards. Activities that require effort but offer deeper satisfaction, like exercise, creative work, reading, or meaningful conversations, help restore balance. At first, they may feel harder than scrolling, but that's a sign your brain is recalibrating. Short videos aren't inherently bad. They can entertain, educate, and inspire. The key is intentional use. When you choose to watch rather than being pulled automatically, your prefrontal cortex regains control over your dopamine system. That's the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and long-term thinking. The more you activate it, the less power the endless scroll has over you. So the next time you find yourself stuck in a loop of short videos, remember this. Your brain isn't addicted to the videos themselves. It's addicted to the promise of what comes next. That tiny surge of dopamine that says, just one more swipe. Understanding that mechanism doesn't just explain your behavior. It gives you the ability to pause, choose, and decide how you want your attention to be used in a world designed to capture it.